Okay, good for Gary, bad for me. In order to get to this key here, I've got to take most of this off anyway. So, seeing as this keyboard is truly disgusting, I'm going to strip the keyboard down to get to that key, because underneath this is a rubber contact, and that rubber contact extends a way either side of that key. So I can't just lift the key up and get to it. I've got to literally take most of this to pieces anyway. As I said, good for Gary, bad for me, because that means I've got to do more work. But hey ho, I did say I would fix this for him. So let's get cracking on stripping down this keyboard. First job when you start doing this sort of work is mobile phone, take photographs. And you're going to say, why have I taken photographs of the keyboard? I've got a video. Yes, I have got a video, but the photographs are much easier to refer to when I'm putting it back together. And the other reason why the photographs are important is it tells me the sequencing of the keys, because not all keyboards of a certain size start with a C and end with a C, if that makes any sense. Some keyboards, for whatever reason, have a slightly different sequencing. The manufacturer obviously knows best. Remember, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Go over to Instagram and follow me there. Go over to Facebook, follow me there. That's where the normal notices are. And consider becoming a Patreon. Taking keys off a keyboard. Now, I don't know whether the springs on this keyboard are different for the white and the black keys. Typically, when you take a keyboard to pieces, the white and the black keys have different springs. So it's always advisable to take the black keys off first and store those springs separately, and then take the white key springs off. In order to do that, what I tend to do is I tend to use a very small screwdriver of one description or another and just lever the springs off. That's what I do. Other people have different techniques, but I'm going to do it that way. I've never taken the springs off this keyboard, so I don't know how easy it's going to be, but I'm going to start at this end and I'm going to work that way. So this should be really fun. Just had to turn the music off while I was doing that, listening to something on Spotify. So now, theoretically, should these just... Oh, we've got another strip there. I was seriously hoping I didn't have to do this, but I am going to have to take the keyboard out because there's a plastic lock-in strip that runs all the way down the keyboard, and that needs to come off to allow the keys to release. Right, let's turn the keyboard over. Hopefully that's still in focus. It can't focus on the black board very well, but there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws that should release the key bed. So let's take them out. Right, those 5 screws come out and the keyboard is released, and it comes forward like so, and it has 2 connectors. One is there, one is there. So we just need to make sure we know which way round these are. Fortunately, both connectors have the same wiring scheme on them, which is really helpful. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a blotch so I've just marked the connectors so I know which one is which when I come to put it back, and then these connectors should just gently pull out like so. And there you go, that's the keyboard disconnected. Just going to put that out of the way for a sec. I suppose now we're here, we've got more dust. That is definitely an EEPROM, which I thought, but it doesn't tell me what it actually is. But I shall get the hoover out in a minute and just give this a dust through, because I couldn't get to it first time round. As you can see the difference between the board where I have cleaned it and where I haven't been able to clean it. Right, and I'm going to do that off camera because that's boring. Okay, keyboard out. Hopefully you can see that on the overhead camera. And it's this little plastic strip that does all the locking, which is there, and it will just peel off. But in order to make it peel off, you've got to get underneath the keyboard to do it, and you just apply a little bit of pressure and away it comes like so. And that will need to be cleaned up, so I'll just put that to one side. I'll need to take all that old glue off it. And now if we then turn the keyboard over again, now that I've removed that end piece and just recenter it so you can see the end, effectively what you do now is you just pull the key towards you, out it comes. Okay, I'm just marking where the dead key was, and it's that one there. Right, we have a broken key as well, by the looks of it. Yeah, that one is definitely whether this is visible. It might be more visible in the upper camera, but you can see that the normal key would have this piece here, which is what locks it into the frame, but this key is broken, so I'm going to have to go and source a new key. I'll check the other keys over just to make sure that they're all good, but none of the others looked broken when I brought it out. And as you can see just how dirty this keyboard is. Now that is the contact, no sorry, that is the contact that we need to look at. But I'm going to clean this up again, give it a quick hoover first to get rid of the dust bunnies, and then I think it's probably just a case of cleaning it down properly with soapy water. But I'm not going to do that on camera because again that's a bit of a boring exercise. But I will do that now, and we'll see this in a little while once it's had a clean. That's probably about all I'm going to do today in terms of I've stripped the keyboard down, I've got it out of the machine, probably a little bit more work than I wanted to do. Next job will be to take these off, but I kind of wanted to stop here because when you look at a keyboard like this, you obviously can see these are where the edges of the keys were. You can see sort of lines. I'm hoping this is coming across on camera, on the top camera. But you look and there are areas like here and here, for argument's sake, where you can definitely see that fluid has got in here. So what I'll be doing is when I take this is the key that's not working, so I'm wondering whether that's got something to do with this area here, which is a bit sticky, and this area, this is not sticky at all. But I will take these off. I need to sequence them because they are done in a certain order. That one's not seated right, and that one's longer, so these all need to be sequenced in terms of how they come off. That's for the next video. That's the key that we've got a problem with. In actual fact, what I'm going to do here is with my pen, I'm just going to mark the chassis like so. So I remember where it is. What was I going to say? Yeah, so the next job is I will remove these rubber things, which I'll do in the next episode, and then we'll give this a bit of a scrub with some warm soapy water, just to get rid of these sticky areas, and then we'll inspect the track and find out why that key is not working. It could be something simple as that contact has gone. I'm hoping it is that simple because that's an easy thing to remedy. And then what we'll then do is we need to order some more keys. So we've got two so far. We've got two broken black keys, and we've got one broken white A key. So they need to be replaced. I shall do that on the internet. And then this needs to be cleaned and ready for refitting, which is another job that we'll do on the next episode. So hopefully that's how you get into the JX-3P keyboard, and I shall see you next time. Live long and prosper. Bye bye.